Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about how we have enrollments and courses set up in Canvas. There are two logical creations, logical entities within Canvas to be aware of. One is what's called the section. The section has all enrollments in it. So this includes instructors. It also includes our students. And then linked to the section inside Canvas is what's called a course. The course is where all the content is for that class. So that content can, of course, include files that we put up. It includes our assignments, our quizzes. It also includes any contributions made to class discussions and any submissions by students. For most of our classes, there's a one-to-one relationship between the section and the course. So when we go into Canvas, we'll see our students there. We put our content there. They contribute. Again, this one-to-one relation. There are a couple of different situations. One is for the Los Rios cross-listed class. Students, as you know, in a cross-listed class can choose what appears in their transcript. So for example, for computer familiarization, they can either decide to take a Journalism 330 or they can take a CISC 302. These are cross-listed classes on the schedule of classes. So from an instructor's perspective, they're teaching one class, there's one meeting time, so on and so forth. Well, in Canvas, it's set up the same way. In Canvas, there will be one course where all of the content is, the syllabus, assignments, etc. All the student contributions are there, but students will automatically be broken into these sections, and these sections will be linked to the same Canvas course. Again, the main concept to think about here is that sections always have enrollments, courses always have content. A second special situation is what happens in a lab lecture class. And at CRC, this most often happens in the departments of chemistry and biology, although there are other departments that have lab lectures. And in this case, how we're doing things in Canvas, which is a little bit different than how we've done it before, is that there will actually be a separate course for each lab section and a separate course for the lecture section. So what that means is lab section 1 will be linked to lab course 1, lab course 2 will be linked to lab course 2, lab section 2, lab course 2, and the lecture section will be linked to the lecture course. What this allows us to do is that if you are a lab instructor who wants to use Canvas, but your lecture instructor does not, you can still use Canvas just with your lab. The most important thing to realize for this is that if you decide to group these classes together, these enrollments together, which we'll get to in another video, if you decide to group the enrollments together, it's very important that you don't group the lab and the lectures into the same Canvas course, because if you do, you'll end up with duplicate enrollment, and that'll be confusing for you and especially for your students. I hope that this video has helped you understand how we're setting up enrollments and courses. Again, the main things to keep in mind are that sections, mostly invisible to us, but sections are always for enrollment only. Courses in Canvas are for all content, whether it's provided by us or by our students. In another video, I'll be showing you how to group courses together in any way that you wish, just not for science classes that are lab lecture.